Hi, I'm Alex Fraley. This is my Data 625 Unit 4 time series story in Tableau, comparing standard of living in the US versus France. I'm using annual World Bank indicators to compare the United States and France across four measures: income per person, unemployment, inflation, and life expectancy. The main time window is 1991 to 2019. Then I use Tableau's default forecast to project a few years forward. You'll see shaded forecast bands on the right side of the charts. Those bands represent a 95% prediction interval. First, a quick note on why I chose this topic. I recently married a French citizen, and I'm actively thinking about where to re-enter the job market. So I wanted a grounded comparison based on measurable indicators. Here in Figure 1, you can see a snapshot of the four indicators for France and the United States in 2019. This sets the baseline before we look at the longer trends. In 2019, the United States is higher on income per person, while France is higher on life expectancy. The inflation and unemployment panels round out the snapshot, and for both of those measures, lower percentages are generally better. Together, these four panels establish the baseline for the time series comparisons that follow. Figure 2 shows income per person over time. Both countries trend upward over the long run, and the United States stays higher across the full window. On the right, Tableau's default forecast begins, and the shaded area shows the 95% prediction interval. My confidence here is relatively higher because this trend is smoother and steadier than the other indicators. Figure 3 shows unemployment. You can see it behaves differently than income. It moves in cycles and reacts to major economic events. The forecast is still Tableau's default model, and the shaded region shows the 95% prediction interval. My confidence here is lower than the income chart because the historical pattern is more volatile and the uncertainty band is wider. Figure 4 shows inflation. Inflation changes year to year and can swing quickly, which makes forecasting harder. Again, the shaded region shows the 95% prediction interval from Tableau's default forecast. My confidence here is the lowest because the historical pattern is noisy, so I read this forecast directionally rather than as a precise prediction. Figure 5 is a small multiples overview across all four indicators. This is here to compare patterns at a glance. Each row is an indicator, and each colored line is a country. Higher values on the chart mean higher values for that indicator in that year. Income per person is the smoothest long-run increase. Life expectancy is steady and gradual. Unemployment and inflation show the most ups and downs, and they also show the widest forecast uncertainty. Now, for the conclusion. From 1991 to 2019, the United States maintains higher income per person, while France maintains higher life expectancy. Forecast uncertainty is lowest for the smoother series, like income per person, and highest for the more volatile indicators, like unemployment and inflation, where economic shocks drive larger swings. My data source was the World Bank's World Development Indicators, filtered to the United States and France. Forecasting was done in Tableau using its built-in method, with prediction intervals shown. I used Microsoft Clipchamp to record the screen capture and produce the final video, including text-to-speech narration. All analysis, visualization design, interpretation, and written content are my own work. References are listed here. Thanks for watching.